Hi guys, this video is going to be about my new drone. I used to fly the DJI Mini 2, but recently upgraded to the DJI Mini 4 Pro, which has many more features than the last one. This video will be about flying the drone, what's involved, because many people ask me questions about it. Sometimes when I'm flying in the outdoors, people come up to me, approach me and ask me questions. And I know I have some friends who may be interested. So I'm going to share and give some insights of my experience with flying a drone. I'm going to show the drone itself and some of the features that it has. Then after that, we'll go fly. I'll fly during the day and I'll also fly at night because that part of it I'm really looking forward to because of the new technology on board the craft. So here goes. So the drone came in a beautiful, high quality yellow leather bag. And let's open it up to see what we have inside. First of all, this is the controller. And I'm going to talk in a minute about it. Then next is the battery pack. And I've got 3 batteries. And this is the charging unit. So you plug in here and away you go. And the craft itself, this is it. Pretty small, isn't it? It weighs less than 250 grams. And I will talk about the reason for that in a minute. So let me unstrap the propeller protector and set it aside. And also remove the camera and gimbal protector. So we'll take the arms out, the forward ones and the rear ones. Each one has a couple propellers each and the motor in the middle. Now, this craft has a wonderful new feature which I didn't have previously, and that is it has obstacle avoidance capabilities. So we have sensors forward of the craft, the rear of the craft, and underneath as well, so that if it comes up against any obstacle, whether it be a tree or building, or even a person for that matter, although I wouldn't fly that low, it will do what I have set it to do, either come to a halt or stop or avoid the obstacle. Now, this craft has some vents on the side to keep it cool, because the previous one had a fan inside, but because they've put additional features on it, they had to keep it within the 250 gram limit, so they had to sacrifice the fan. But that's not a problem. It will keep cool once it's in the air. So let's set this aside for a minute. But before I do that, let's put a battery in because I want to, it snaps in. Let's talk about the controller. These are the antennae, which we have to position this way. And we switch it on by pressing and holding. So it's now on. But it will not connect to the craft unless I put the craft on, which is press once and hold the second one. So therefore, you'll notice that the red light here will turn green once it's connected to the craft. There you go, so it's connected. Okay. So you'll notice a beautiful screen. Previously, I would have to use my phone and attach it to the craft, but this one comes with its own very large screen. So on this, I will see all the controls that I need to see in order to fly. Now, I encourage anyone who is interested in flying a drone to really consider DJI. They manufacture the best in the world. They're the #1 manufacturer in the world. Now, I'll caution you also that this is not a toy. It is an aircraft, and there are certain rules that govern how you fly. Regulations exist in every country. I have flown now 7 times in other countries, including Europe. But now, effective 2024, stringent rules have been established in Europe in particular, so that I recently had to take a course and register with the European Union so that I'm able to fly in any of those countries. So I'm very happy about that because I'm looking forward to flying in Europe again. Okay, so I want to talk now about the regulations. So guys, let's talk about the regulations. Regulations worldwide administer craft above 250 grams in weight and those below. Those above 250 grams, the heavier craft, are more stringent, whereas some of the rules do not specifically apply to the smaller craft. Nevertheless, there are rules one has to follow. In fact, I have flown in Europe many times, England, Scotland, France, Belgium, Italy, Portugal as well. But since January 2024, the rules have become very tight. So I had to take a course with the Civil Aviation Authority in one of the European countries. I've passed that. I've got my certificate and my registration, which I have to display on the craft. Nevertheless, there are also additional rules that may apply depending on the individual country. For example, Spain requires that you have liability insurance regardless of the size of the craft, whereas generally in Europe, you only require liability insurance if the craft is 20 kilograms and above in weight. Nevertheless, rules apply, and one has to be conscious of that. How close you come to people, privacy laws, of course, not flying in military installations, and one has to stay within a certain distance of airports and stuff like that. So it is very important. What I've noticed is that many people, once they get a drone, they open the box and immediately go flying without considering regulations or even how to control the craft. And I know of people who have lost their craft or it has crashed somewhere and they panic. So what I did was wait 3 months before I went on my first flight. I studied what people do, good people, on the internet, through YouTube, and I read up a lot about it, about the hazards, the risks, and what not to do and what to do, and armed myself with information before I took off. So I encourage you, if you're ever considering a drone, it is a wonderful, wonderful hobby. I emphasize it's not a toy, it's an aircraft. But I do encourage you, if you want to fly a drone, do seriously consider it because it gives an enormous amount of fun, and creates memories that last a lifetime. So, having said all of that, let's go fly.